let's see, what else did I want to do? So I showed you the mapper mismatch with Mega Man. Eventually, with these images, I'd like to uh, cache them, like download them and save them into a folder, so that I don't have to, leech off of BootGod's website every time the user wants to load an image. I mean, it's not like it's going to happen that often, but it would be nice just to have those images, even if you didn't have an internet connection and stuff. So, but that's that. And then let's see. I'd also like to add the ability eventually. This wouldn't be too difficult, but I mean these are all low-hanging fruit, but I really don't want to work too much longer on the GUI. I mean, I could just keep working on it forever, and I don't want to do that. I'm more interested in the hardware aspect, and I have a lot more work to do in the emulator. And my emulator does have lots of bugs in it still. PPU, CPU, the audio core is not even remotely complete. I only have one of the 5 audio channels. The delta modulation channel is complete, but the other 4 are almost nothing. But I'd like to add the feature for the GUI to go ahead and, when it fires up, if the FPGA is powered on and is programmed, to go and interrogate the CRC register in the emulator and automatically populate all this data for you. Because the only way to do it now, if you were to close the GUI front end and reopen it, then it won't repopulate this ROM information pane. You're actually going to have to go and reload the ROM, which could kind of suck if you're in the middle of a game and you don't want to lose everything. So and that's another thing I want to add, is to be able to save the state of the emulator, so that you can, just like software-based emulators, you can save the state. I'm not sure exactly how to go about doing that because it's hardware-based. I've thought about it some, and it's going to be incredibly difficult, I think, because you're essentially going to have to save the state of every single register in the design, not like every single flip-flop, but every single, all the most important registers from the CPU and PPU and APU and blah 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 blah. So I'm not sure if it's even possible. I mean, I would expect it is, but I don't know that it's worth actually doing. I don't know. Just another one of the million ideas I got pouring out. But so what else here? So I think that's the no box text available for that one. But yeah, it's really cool to be able to search these images. And it's nice just to have this information. Now this pane over here, this is eventually, I haven't done it yet, but you can see. So Battletoads, what you're seeing over there, that bouncing, that's a bug. You can't hear it because I'm not recording the audio from the emulator right now, but Battletoads actually does use the DMC channel. That's some pretty nice music actually. But what you're seeing, that bouncing, is actually bouncing to the beat of the music. I have no idea why that's happening. Like I said, I have lots of bugs. But I mean, the game actually runs fine. I can actually play it for you a little bit here. Let me finish what I was saying. So this information pane on the right, where emulator status, eventually, it doesn't do anything right now, but eventually I want to make it, the GUI will go out and interrogate the emulator, and let me kill these guys here. Go out and interrogate the emulator and show you different information, like what mapper it's currently using, what the internal CRC register says, error signals. I mean, it could display anything that I want to send out from the emulator. So but I think that's pretty much it for the information pane. I'm just going to go ahead and play this. Now you can notice in the taskbar that, or in the taskbar, yeah. This is not Windows. In the upper, the status bar, and the game, that's also messed up. You can tell what it is, but it's got like a weird little thing going on at the top. I'm not sure why it does that, but I have just so many bugs in there. But I mean, like I said, the emulator runs fine like most of the time, so I've never had it just freeze on me. If it does freeze, then it freezes like right at the beginning when a game loads. So I'm just gonna play this for a while. It's actually, it's funny because I forget that, at times that I'm creating an emulator and I can actually play games on it. I get so wrapped up in developing the thing that I forget to actually take time off and play some games. I'm getting my butt kicked right now because I'm talking and trying to kill this thing at the same time, and I can't multitask with my little pea brain, so but this game's, I've actually played this game for quite a long time, or rather, put that another way, I've played really far into this game, and it runs perfectly, runs smoothly. I really like the graphics in this level. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to play this too much longer. This video is already going to be long as it is. Actually, I'm going to pause it right there. No, actually, I'll just let it run. Let's see. What else I want to show you. So, I guess I better show you the... I'm almost done here. I'm going to show you the... see if we can keep this video under an hour. I'm already at 48 minutes. And counting, so... what is that guy doing? Is he not even going to kill me? That's weird. I kill these guys. Just make yourself into an anvil. He keeps killing me now. Well, whatever. So let's see. So the way the UART works, there's multiple. So the UART interface is logically multiplexed. So the GUI can interface. It's kind of like having ports on the Ethernet interface, having multiple ports, like a UDP port. It doesn't work as easily as Ethernet or UDP makes it, but it works just the same. So I've got Battletoads running right now. I guess I can show you some other games here for Little Samson. That's one of my favorite games. It's kind of big. I'm probably going to cut out some of this progress. So this is one of the larger games. So like I said, the UART's kind of slow. Loading these games up at 115, 200 baud. So I'm going to cut some of this out probably. I actually think I'll just... Oh, it's almost done now. I actually realized I could just pause the Camtasia recording. But I'll do that next time. Little Samson is really cool. I really like the graphics in this game. It's a really fun action RPG style game. I always thought the game mechanics in this for each of the different characters was really cool. And that he can like climb on walls. I forget. Let's see. It's just really neat. Really neat game. A really neat Tato game. So, Anyway, let's see here. I'll let that run. So one of the different multiplexer ports that you can do on here is the PicoBlaze CPU logger. So essentially what I have is the Xilinx PicoBlaze. I'm actually going to change that because I don't really like the PicoBlaze very much. It's really limited, and the compiler doesn't work on Windows 7 64-bit, of course, after I change to it. So I'd have to run it in like VMware, which I mean I can do. It's just a pain because I have everything scripted to compile and do all this stuff. So makes it a pain to have to run it in VMware, especially when I had everything already working. So, it works fine now, and I really don't have to change the software. But I just want to change it over and just use my actual 6502 core. Just reinstantiate it another time and just have the 6502 core run the software. It's kind of overkill for what I want to do, but I'd rather not have to deal with the PicoBlaze. And also having another instantiation and having the 6502 running doing other things will also help me to find more bugs. So so I'm probably going to do that. But right now, if you fire up the CPU logger, it'll actually go in and it will it'll capture the state of the CPU registers and send them over the UART. I'll show you that really quick. It actually slows down the game because it freezes or pauses the CPU by, I think it lowers the ready input of the CPU, so since it pauses the CPU, it essentially is inserting stall states. It actually makes the game completely unplayable because the UART interface is so slow. But I have ideas for how to optimize that at least. So as I'm jumping here, I'm going to fire up the CPU logger in mid jump, and then you'll see how much it slows it down. So you can actually see. I'm hoping that Camtasia. I'm pointing at my screen, like you guys can see me pointing at my screen. But if you see it redrawing the frame, the PPU is actually redrawing the frame. I'm hoping Camtasia sees that, because that's actually pretty interesting to be able to watch that happening as it refreshes the screen. But you can turn it on and off. And oh, there we go. There's another refresh right there. And when it gets to the sprite here, see, so that's the next frame of him spinning. So I'm going to turn that off.